So would you fire the superintendent? Are you happy with the work that he's doing?
So that's a loaded question.
It's loaded? Okay.
Yeah.
Unload it for me. Unload it
So
for us.
I am not running to try to fire the superintendent. To be honest, I don't think anyone could really answer that question for you right now with not being on the board, because there's a lot of information and a lot of research that goes into doing an evaluation for him.
Okay.
And I'm not privy to
But
that.
I think he has a
information.
contract until like 2024 or something like that, right?
Right. So
okay.
but I do believe you have to evaluate him every year. I'm pretty sure, but I would have to see. But, based on, I don't have all the information. So am I going to go in November and say, okay, let's take a vote to get rid of Mr. Runci? I am absolutely not going to do that. There are things that he's done very well in our district. He's done a great job with industry certifications. He's done a great job partnering up with businesses. But there are things that I think he needs improvement on. I think he needs.
And what are those things? What do you think he needs to? He could or he needs to do better?
So I think he needs to make more divisive decisions. I think that sometimes he's a little wishy-washy, for a better word.
Divisive decision. What does that mean? Like, we want to be united. We want to have a united front. What do you mean he needs to make a divisive decision? What is that?
So sometimes he'll make a decision, and then when people complain about it, he changes to something else. And then
is it complaining, or maybe they're just giving him an option to see it a different way?
Well, then my thought is you need to get all that information before you make the decision. And then when people complain, you can say, I made the decision based on the best facts that I had right now.
At the time, it might be some new facts that come out though.
And then that's okay. So then you say based on new facts, but that's not how it comes out. And I think it looks like we're pitting people against each other. As you mentioned, areas seem to get more resources and things. It's sort of similar to that. Whoever yells the loudest gets the most stuff. So
is that how that works? So I think I need to start yelling some more then. You know what I mean? I need some stuff.
Yes. Well, and that's, sometimes an issue. So I think it needs to be based on facts. And so we need to be better at, and I think we need to communicate better. And teachers don't feel valued, and they feel as if the superintendent doesn't value them. Whether he does or not, is to be seen, but they don't feel that way. So he has to do better at bringing up the morale of the staff so that we are a cohesive unit, so that we're all working and collaborating and compromising and understanding what it is we want from each other.
But don't the teachers have like about 4 or 5 bosses before Runci becomes their boss? So how is it that he would be responsible for making teachers happy in the classroom, and then they're like, like I said, about 5 or 6 people in between him and those teachers? Why do you believe that falls on him to keep the morale high of teachers in a particular school or the school system overall?
Well, he's the head leader of the school system, right? And that's the person that they're looking to. And it appears to teachers as if he's the one making decisions that are bringing their morale down. And I think we need to train managers better to be better communicators. And I think all of that falls on the leader. You can't have all the accolades and not take some of the failures.
The blows. I get it, because the fish rots from the head. So I mean, I understand that. So so if you think it's because of him that a lot of the teachers in the classroom are not happy.
It's not only him, but he is the leader. And so if he takes it upon himself to figure out how to change that, to sit down with a group of teachers, to hear what they have to say, and do that often, and let them have input into things, then, it's a start. But I think also I think we need to train our managers better. I don't think that they're always, they don't make their staff feel like they're part of that planning process. And it isn't just him.
Okay, and so how is it that they can get that training? Like, everything costs money, right? Like, everything costs money. How is it that can they train them, or should they just have different people come in?
Well, I mean, they have tons of people downtown. They have a human resource department that we have lots of people in KC Wright that are able to do those trainings. So I don't think it's extra money. They just need to, some of those off the shelf programs I was mentioning to you all deal with, we're talking about getting rid of implicit bias and how do we teach our teachers to be more equitable and to have more culturally responsive curriculum and stuff. So we have people who are training and this is their job. So they need to just make sure that when they're training the managers and the principals and assistant principals, that some of that includes the training on how we can better communicate and make our schools a more collaborative place. Some of them are awesome. I work at one that's phenomenal. So I don't have those issues, but I hear a lot of my friends complaining about those things. So how is, like, my principal is amazing. Maybe she could be a person that goes in and says what her best practices are at her school so that she helps other people. So it doesn't necessarily have to cost you extra money.